do our best to sort, but sometimes we do miss stuff, so then that goes into the landfill and stays there. So.
The first presentation, the comments on the EPA, the Paris Climate Agreement are pretty scary to all of us, that we're going backwards. And I guess this is really a question to all of the panelists or to anyone else. What do we do to, mobilize together to turn some of that around? Because that's not the world that I'm looking forward to.
That's a great question. I'm going to pass the mic over.
Okay, so being president of the Earth Club at St. John's actually has taught me a lot of what we can do at a local level, and there are many grassroots organizations within New York City. 350 New York City is actually one that meets once a month on Wednesdays. 350 New York City. It's 350nyc, I believe.org, but then they also have a national branch as well, and they do organize different events, and they do post them on an app or a website called Meetup. They send out weekly emails. If you like, I can give you the information for the steering committee leader afterwards. But as for a local level, for individuals wise, it's best to just advocate within your peers and with people, and then talk to people who represent your town or your neighborhood, those in power. If you don't like what they're doing, then you can always try to see how you can implement it in your life. But other than that, just go to local community chapters that try to enforce these, and then see what you can do and contribute. 350 New York City actually allows you to join their steering committees and help propose petitions and bans and efforts and protests and strikes. You name it. You can send letters to anybody. So, did that answer everything? Do you have anything else?
No, it helps.
But I think this is the most important question that we're all asking every day, right? So part of it is, even though there are some signals that things are bad, don't forget that there is lots of good news, right? So every day the price of solar panels is growing. Every year our reliance on clean energy is going. Our carbon emissions as a nation have dropped. So you're totally right, it's really scary, but don't lose entire hope. And then all Americans rank the environment as important, they all say it's important when we ask them in surveys, but then when they rank it, it falls. So it's very easily that the environment becomes an off issue when we're talking about things like income and healthcare and things that people feel very viscerally. So we are beholden to remind our lawmakers that this is important. And the Congressional Foundation Committee just issued a report, and you writing an email doesn't have to be long, it just has to be personal and not a form email was the #1 way that members of Congress said that they were influenced. And it doesn't take a lot of emails. They get several emails about one topic, whether it's the funding of the Superfund, whether it's pulling out of Paris, and they put a staffer on it. And so when we talk to particularly moderate Republicans here in the New York area, they said we're not hearing from their constituents about climate change. And so I'm with you. It doesn't even have to be mean. They need to hear you say, I'm your voter and I care about the environment and I want to maintain the progress that we've made.
Another thing that 350 is working on, as well as faith organizations, a lot of people are working on divestment. So how we can divest our funds. In New York State, there's groups that are trying to divest our pension funds. There's whatever type of institution that we work with, we can see if we can divest from fossil fuels, and what are the positive things that we can invest in, as an alternative. So yeah, I think that's an important point that everyone can get involved in.
I just wanted to add one. I really don't have an answer to your question, but I've been thinking more and more about how to talk to people about things. Lindsay, you mentioned how you talk to your grandfather in a way that he would understand. I think that's something I've been trying to think about. I've heard people talking about that they're advocates for climate change, and they were warned, oh no, when you're speaking to this group or when you're speaking in this area, don't use the word climate change. It will get everybody's hackles up. Talk about sustainability. Talk about saving energy. That way you'll get people to listen to you. And I think sometimes we have to be careful. I have to be careful about the way I'll phrase things. People talking about the, EPA, people might, in theory, want to reduce the size of government, but if you present it as, well, what about breathing clean air? What about safe drinking water? And if you go into the particulars, I think people might be more willing to listen. Now, Eileen, you wanted me to talk about yes. The Catholic Climate Covenant has several petitions online. They, about a week or two ago, they delivered 15,000 to the White House. I believe that was about the Paris Agreement, but they have several more up there. It might be about the Green Fund and the Clean Air Act. That they may still be up there, but there are new ones that will be up there all the time, so that you can check in on them and sign on to those petitions. Because, they were in several news reports last week, 15,000, and they were, looking at that number as a very good number. So if you check in on those things, you can sign on to those petitions.
One more thing about this notifying your congressman. This budget that's come out with all the cuts is the president's budget. It's actually the Congress that passes the final budget. So it's really the congressman that we have to contact, and we have several months because the final budget will not be passed until the fall, late in the fall. So there's time. And as you said, they don't like those canned emails. They don't pay as much attention to them as written emails. Now, one person who will only accept your own email is Senator Schumer. The only way you can send him an email is through his website. And it's very easy to get into it, and you write a little comment, and he's, after all, a very important person in the Congress. So we hope maybe there'll be some changes to the numbers in that final budget.
Carissa put together a list of things we can do to help environment.